First of all, the actual existence, the discovery of Oumuamua was very surprising because how many rocks we should expect from other stars that would enter the solar system from outside.
Pentagon leaders just went public with a shocking admission about a massive object that entered our solar system. A report, co-written by high-level military experts and top astronomers, says this visitor was likely a mothership. This craft might have released hundreds of small probes to scan the Earth while it sailed past us. We are looking at recent data from 2026 that shows these small orbs are still moving around our military bases. This is the biggest leak in history, and it proves we are not alone in our own backyard. Something from deep space is here, and the government is finally ready to talk about the galactic intruders.
On a Pentagon whistleblower alleging the government has a secret UFO retrieval program and has hidden it from the public.
And they saw against the night sky those three little dots there. Look at them.
Galactic intruders. The Pentagon just handed over a stack of papers that most people never expected to see. These files talk about a strange object named Oumuamua that showed up in 2017. At first, everyone thought it was just a weird rock from another star system. It was about 600 feet long and looked like a giant cigar or a surfboard. It did not act like any comet or asteroid that humans have ever seen before. This is a key detail because, usually, space rocks leave a tail of ice and dust when they get close to the heat of the sun. This object stayed totally clean and even sped up as it moved away from us. It acted like it had an engine or a sail, catching the light from our sun to push it faster. Government scientists named Sean Kirkpatrick and a famous teacher from Harvard, Avi Loeb, wrote a paper about this. They said we need to consider that this was a craft sent by an alien world. They compared it to a big ship that carries smaller pieces inside of it. These smaller pieces are like little probes that can drop off and fly to different planets. They called them dandelion seeds because they are small and can fly through space without needing a lot of energy. This idea means that while the big ship was flying through our solar system, it could have dropped off scouts to watch the Earth and other planets. Many people are not seeing the truth here because they think space is too big for this to happen. But the math in the report shows it is very possible. The big ship does not even have to stop. It just flies by and lets the little probes do the work. These probes would be so small that our normal telescopes would never see them. They would use the light from stars to get power and move around silently. The Pentagon is looking at this now because they keep seeing small orbs on their radar that move in the same weird ways as the big object did. Nobody expected this to happen, but the military is starting to link these old sightings with things happening right now. They are seeing orbs near our satellites that can hover and then zoom away in a second. These orbs are only a few feet wide, which makes them very hard to catch on camera. But the new sensors we have in 2026 are picking up their heat signatures. These objects do not have wings, and they do not have loud engines like our planes do. They just sit there in the sky like they are waiting for something. The report says these probes could be looking for water or signs of life on rocky planets like ours. If a smart group of beings lived far away, they would send robots instead of coming themselves. It is much cheaper and easier to send a machine across the stars. This means the big ship that passed us years ago was just the delivery truck. The real spies might still be here in the dark parts of our solar system. We have to wonder if they are already done with their job, or if they are just starting to send back data. The crazy part is that we might have missed the most important moment in human history because we were not looking. Scientists are now rechecking all the old data from 2017 to see if they missed the probes. They are looking for tiny flashes of light or small shadows moving against the stars. It turns out that some telescopes did pick up strange things, but they were ignored at the time. Now that the Pentagon is talking, everyone is starting to realize that the sky is much busier than we thought. There are still many rumors in the air, but what many can confirm is that the government is worried about our safety. If these things are from another world, we do not know if they are friendly or not. They have technology that is way better than ours, and we cannot even touch them. The Pentagon is finally breaking its silence because they cannot hide these radar tracks anymore. They need help from more scientists to figure out what these orbs are doing near our moon. Strange signals are coming from the edge of our world that do not match anything we have ever made. Official files. The move toward being open did not happen overnight. For a long time, the government told everyone that UFOs were just tricks of the light, or people seeing things. But then everything changed when more pilots started coming forward with videos. In May 2026, a massive file dump happened that showed the military has been tracking these things for decades. These files show that the military is very serious about these intruders. They are not calling them UFOs anymore, but instead they use the name UAP, which stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena. So here is the deal with these new papers. They show that the government has special sensors all over the world, and even in space. These sensors are picking up things that move at 10,000 miles per hour and then stop instantly. No human pilot could survive that kind of turn, and no plane we have can move that fast without breaking apart. What most people do not realize is that the military has known about these flight paths for a long time. They have maps showing where these objects like to hang out, and most of them are over the ocean or near nuclear bases. One of the most overlooked aspects of this story is how the Pentagon is now working with NASA. In the past, these two groups did not talk much about this stuff. Now, they are sharing data from satellites and underwater sensors to get a full picture. They found that some of these objects fly into the water and keep moving at high speeds. This means they are not just spaceships, but they can work in any environment. The Pentagon is calling this a matter of national security because we do not have anything that can stop them. A lot of people are confused about why the government is talking now. Some think they are trying to hide something else, but it seems they are actually just scared. They have seen these objects release smaller orbs, just like the mothership theory said. They have seen them fly right next to our most secret jets without being seen by regular radar. The real kicker is that these objects seem to know when we are looking at them. They often disappear or jam our cameras right when we get a good shot. The Pentagon is trying to be calm about this so they do not start a panic. They are telling the public that these are just things we do not understand yet. But behind closed doors, they are spending billions of dollars to upgrade our space defenses. They are building new telescopes that can see things as small as a tennis ball from thousands of miles away. They want to make sure that the next time a big ship enters our solar system, we see it coming before it gets to us. Wait, it gets better because the files also mention that these objects might be very old. Some scientists think these probes have been sitting in our solar system for thousands of years. They might be automated robots that only wake up when they detect certain signals. This would explain why we see more of them now that we have more technology and radio waves. We are basically ringing a dinner bell for these silent watchers. The plot took a major turn when a former intelligence officer said the government has actually recovered some of this technology. He claims that we have pieces of these probes in secret labs. If this is true, it would mean the Pentagon has been trying to copy alien tech for a long time. They have not been able to make it work because the materials are too advanced for us. They are made of elements that do not even exist on Earth. This adds a whole new level of mystery to the story because it means the visitors have already been here. Little did they know that the public would find out about these secret labs so soon. Now there is a big push for the government to show what they have found. People want to see the materials and the videos that have not been blurred. The Pentagon is trying to balance being honest with keeping secrets. They do not want our enemies to know what we have learned about these ships. But the more they hide, the more people think the situation is even more serious than they are saying. The most dangerous part of this discovery is not the ships themselves, but what they are looking at. Silent watchers. It is not that simple, though, to just say these things are alien and move on. We have to think about what this means for our safety. If an object can travel from another star, it has power we cannot imagine. It could easily knock out our power grids or stop our communication systems. The Pentagon is worried that these probes are mapping our military bases. They are seen so often near our Navy ships that it looks like they are studying how we fight. This is why the military is now calling the space near Earth a war zone of the future. But here is the catch. These objects never attack us. They just watch. They follow our planes and hover over our cities. But they never fire a weapon. Some people think this means they are peaceful, but the military sees it differently. They think the probes are just gathering information for someone else. It is like a scout team checking out a new territory before the rest of the group arrives. This makes the stakes much higher for everyone on Earth. Hands down, the most frightening part is that we cannot hide from them. They can see through our buildings and listen to our private talks using technology we do not understand. The Pentagon papers say these objects use a type of gravity drive to move. This means they do not use fuel like we do. They actually bend the space around them to move from one spot to another. This is why they can move so fast without making a sonic boom. It also means they could be sitting right next to us, and we would not even know it unless they wanted to be seen. Everyone is obsessed with finding a face or a person behind these ships, but we might just be dealing with AI. If a civilization is millions of years ahead of us, they probably do not travel in person. They send smart machines that can live for millions of years. These machines could be programmed to look for planets that are just starting to use technology. That describes us perfectly. We are just now starting to leave our own planet, and that might be why the visitors are so active lately. The real shocker was when the military realized these probes are communicating with each other. They found strange bursts of energy moving between the orbs near Earth and the big object that left our solar system. It is like a giant network covering our whole sun. This means the mothership is still in charge even though it is far away. It is receiving reports from all the little seeds it dropped off. We are being studied like bugs in a jar, and there is nothing we can do to stop the transmission. That was the moment everything shifted for the people in charge of our defense. They realized that our borders do not end at the atmosphere. We have to protect everything from here to the moon. They are calling this cislunar space, and it is the new front line. If a hostile group can put probes in that space, they can drop things on us from above before we can even react. The Pentagon is rushing to put our own sensors on the moon to watch for any new ships coming from deep space. Looking back, that was the red flag we all missed in 2017. We were so busy arguing about what the object looked like that we forgot to ask what it was doing. It was not just passing through. It was doing a job. It was planting eyes all over our solar system. Now we are starting to see the fruits of that work as more and more orbs show up on our thermal cameras. The sky is getting crowded, and we are the only ones who do not know the rules of the game. The situation is getting more intense every day as we find more of these hidden spies in our orbit. Alien arrival. Fast forward to the part where we actually start fighting back, not with missiles, but with technology. The government is pouring money into projects that sound like science fiction. They are working on lasers that can see through the cloaking systems of these ships. They are also building a new type of rocket that can move around in space much faster than we can now. This is all part of a plan to show the visitors that we are not helpless. The Pentagon wants to make sure we can at least track these things every second they are here. But there is a massive caveat to this plan. We might be making things worse. If we start poking at these probes, they might see us as a threat. Right now, they are just watching, but if we try to capture one, they might defend themselves. This is where the story takes a hard left, because the government is divided. Some leaders want to try and talk to the objects using radio waves or light pulses. Others want to build a cage in space to catch one. Nobody knows which path is the right one to take. Basically, we are in a new space race, but this time we are not racing against other humans. We are racing to catch up with a group that has a head start of thousands of years. The Pentagon is looking for anyone who has smart ideas about how to handle this. They are even talking to video game makers and science fiction writers to think of scenarios we might face. They want to be ready for anything from a peaceful meeting to a full-on invasion. It sounds crazy, but this is what the top generals are talking about in their meetings every morning. And that is when it finally clicked for a lot of people. This is not about one object or one sighting. This is about a change in our place in the universe. We are no longer the kings of our own hill. We are just one planet in a very busy galaxy. The Pentagon breaking its silence is their way of telling us to grow up and get ready. We cannot keep fighting each other when there are much bigger things watching us from above. This discovery might be the thing that finally brings the whole world together, because we have a common mystery to solve. The unthinkable happened when a private company caught a clear video of one of these orbs docking with a larger craft near the dark side of the moon. This video has not been shown to the public yet, but those who have seen it say it is undeniable. It shows two crafts working together in a way that is clearly smart. They move with a purpose, and they seem to be exchanging parts or data. This proves that there is a base or a meeting point somewhere close to us. The moon might be hiding a lot more than just old rocks and dust. Against all logic, the government is still trying to keep some of this quiet. They are worried that if people see the docking video, they will lose their minds. But you cannot keep a secret that big forever. Too many people have telescopes and cameras now. The truth is going to come out whether the Pentagon likes it or not. We are standing on the edge of a new age where we have to share our space with others. It is the most exciting and scary time to be alive in human history. The Pentagon finally admitted that something is watching us from our own sky. If a mothership is really out there, what do you think their goal is? Are we ready to meet our neighbors, or should we be afraid? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more updates on this cosmic mystery.